Okay. Um, I wanna come clear. I wanna I wanna go deep. I wanna talk about something that I've mentioned before, and I wanna be more detailed on this topic. It's something that has been affecting me for a long time, and not only affecting me, but it also affected other people. And I wanna go deeper on this topic, and it's about beetle juice. On the last video, I've mentioned that this guy or this persona wasn't a real person, and it was more like me being under the account, undercover, for almost 5 years now. Would have been 5 years since 2021. And mainly because I felt I had a lot of explanation to do. I've had some I had some information that I had to talk about, but I didn't. I felt that way. And obviously, I had to I have to come clean because I don't want to lie anymore. I I feel shit a lot. I don't want to lie. I don't want to hide this. I don't want to hide anything. And unlike the other people who are undercover, Danger Mario, other people, I want to come clean. I don't want to say I want to be different. I have to come clean, and I did come clean before that, before anything of Danger Mario or Marlowe happened. So I'm proud that didn't. I don't know what I'm proud of. I'm proud that I'm all. I guess I'm brave enough to actually reveal myself and reveal the secret that I've been hiding for 4 years, almost 5, and come clean. I don't know if I'm gonna be clean anymore after sharing this information. I don't know if I'll be forgiven. I don't know if I'm gonna be um I don't know if there are gonna be any positive relations, because Beetle was actually a very huge part of my life and other people's uh lives. Very big part. But things like this have to come to an end. I don't want to manipulate or anything like that. So here's my talk, the information that I can give you for Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice first appeared at 2021, October something, when I was hacked. Um, at that time, I was hacked at the 1st of August or 2nd of August of 2021. And honestly, I have to the main idea of making Beetlejuice wasn't to make new friends and be a second persona or anything like that. And my idea was During the time when I was hacked, I had a Discord server that was something to me. It was almost everything to me, actually. And I'm not even joking, because at that time I didn't really had friends except online friends, and maybe Ryan, because Ryan was considered an online friend to me because we were long distance. But it wasn't about that. It was, you know, that I just wanted to see if I could catch people. It was more like to monitor my server under a different account, under a different name, without anyone realizing, and seeing what people will do. Because it was active. It was active during that time. And yeah. Um After a few days of creating the account, and engaging talks there and here and there with people, um Yoshi, who was part of the FN5K clan, Yoshi was and not just Yoshi, but also Blocky, had a ongoing argument with a person named Mugi. And not just Mugi, but also another person who was Void or something like that. And I saw that there was a conflict that was actually very heated, and I was interested to help at least either side somehow, because Yoshi, Blocky, um, Mugi were actually friends of mine, and I was actually very concerned over why the fuck did they just all of a sudden uh, started hating each other and arguing. So what I did was actually go rogue under beatle and be completely different. And so I did. So I fucking did. And of course, I used beetle as an undercover self, as an undercover persona. And things didn't were getting kind of heated. I don't want to share anything about the conflicts or anything like that. I don't think I'm permitted to do so, so I'm not going to share. I know it has been 4 years now, almost five. Again, almost five. Ever since the conflict ended. But it's actually deep. Really deep. And I didn't want to I don't want to right now to talk about it, because I don't want to like bring it back to light. I don't want to do anything. I'll keep it as at bay. That's secret. But I will say that the conflict was very heated, and because of that, I had to actually make a personality to Beetle. And here comes the personalities. When making the personalities, I've had to think very cleverly to what make Beetle Beetle. So I began mixing personalities from real life people I know, and those people are me, Ryan, and another friend that I've made in Greece, who I've never got to see him ever again after that one last time. His name is George. He's he's older than me. He's 2 years older than me. He's real. I'll say that. He was real. And at the same time we met each other at a restaurant. See, and I was like uh 9 years old. He was 12. No, he was 11 at that time. Or maybe I don't quite remember, but during our time together, it all began when I was watching his tablet because he was at the restaurant all by himself watching LOL Title 1 compilations, and I was watching at the back silently. I didn't want it to disturb him, and so it happened. And after that, he saw me 5 minutes later, and I was like very shy, and I said, "I'm sorry, I'm a go," in English, obviously. And he was like, "No, no, 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 come, come, come." And I was like, "No, no, I'm sorry. Please don't do anything to me." And I was like, "No, don't worry. Come. It's fun, I know." And he grabbed a chair, he put it like, next to him, and I sat on it, and we spent some time. It was nice, to be fair. We watched also some Paper.io gameplay, and he was really like a child lover, let's just say. He entertained me. Let's just say he entertained me a lot that time. He wanted me to be entertained, and it worked. It was nice times together. It was nice times. Then we exchanged the YouTube channels. I told him that I was a YouTuber under the name CyberEye, and he also had a YouTube channel, but he didn't post anything. It was just the channel. He just created the channel. He didn't post anything though. And we subscribed to each other. He hit the bell, the notification bell, and made it so that every single time when I make a stream or go make a video, upload, and stuff like that, you manage to see him. And that was the last time when we met IRL. After that, we've met at occasional live streams from my older channel. I don't remember the streams. I need to go back to every single stream, but I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that. But I will say that we never got to see each other ever again, IRL. But we did got to talk to each other as a viewer and streamer relations. Last time I heard from him actually was in 2020. Kind of sad because he was actually a really nice guy and really goated. Really nice, really goated. I really want to see him again, to be fair, and sad that I can't anymore. What's the time, man? Um, after that, after I've selected the personalities, um, I also had to add extra things to Beetle. I wanted to make him a lawyer, a upcoming lawyer, an upcoming lawyer, and More than that, but also a person who is an orphan, a person who lived by himself, and stuff like that. It was deep making that at the age of 11, but I had to so that I could have not much. I mean, it is a big backstory, but it's just I don't know why I've made his personality like that. To be fair, I've been 11 at that time, and I don't know why I've made it like that. So I can't really give you much info. I was fucking stupid back then. And after that, I also had to give him a name. An actual name, not just Beetlejuice. An actual name that would be undercover. And of course, not a lot of people will know. I based him in Greece, and I gave him the name George in honor of um, George, the guy who I met that time in 2019, in honor of him. And stuff went good. You know, I've gained a lot of evidence, let's just say. I've gained a lot of evidence. I've gained a lot of leads, clues, because the conflict was getting kind of tough, and I had to listen to a lot of people. I had to not listen to a lot of people. It was a mess, really. It was definitely a mess, but it worked well. And at the same time, uh, you know, we've managed to resolve the issues. We've managed to gain everything and give Yoshi and Blocky the reasonings of why they're just horrible people, you know, Mugi and Void. And after that, I've unblocked my account from the hack and decided to make Beto an actual person and not just make him an actual person, but also a brother to me. A brother who I never had. Well, not never had, but a brother who was there, who cared. And not just that, but I also wanted to make him as well as a way to vent, let's just say, because I wasn't really good at life at all. Obviously, every day I was never like that. Um, and so I came to conclude my creations, uh, settings and stuff like that with the following things, with the following code. That when I'm talking about someone, when I'm talking about someone, especially with huge priority on myself, when I'm talking about myself, highest priority, and other people as well, I don't lie. I don't lie about my shit. I don't lie about anything. The only exception I would add is Beetle. That's it. No one else. And the code was simple, but at the same time difficult because most of the times I had to not lie about other people. You know, of course, not. It wasn't hard because I had to not lie about myself, right? it was hard that I had to not lie about other people because at that time I had to cover a lot of people up until I've kind of updated the code and I gave it my one and last update was if I have to lie, but not to myself, not about myself, about the others, you know? And I called it a day. That was the last update I've ever gave to my code. The Beetlejuice persona wasn't made so that I could gain attention. I mean, if venting was attention, then maybe yes. I've made him so that I could vent, talk about my problems because I always felt um I felt like a con artist when the things that I'm talking about came from me. I always did, and it was sometimes true. Well, not sometimes true, but many people, when they hear me talking about my problems, sometimes they just say that they aren't that big, and just say that, oh, come on, mate, and stuff like that. And the thing is that I find very stupid is that whenever someone else talks about someone else's problems, like for example, Peter talking about my problems, then it becomes some kind of truth that they can accept because it was not verified by the person, it can be made up. So it's made by, a secondary person, so it has to be a truth, which is kind of something that I've realized as an experiment in the past years. Especially when I was at middle school. It was horrible for me. I don't want to talk about middle school a lot. I might talk about it. No, no, I'm not going to do that. It's very off topic. Um, and I used the venting methods on beatle. I talked about my problems to other people using beatle. You know, and not only that, but why not just make people friends with him? Have other people feel like they were understood as well. Because sometimes people don't want to talk to me about certain things, and so I've made Beetle not just for myself, but for other people who are having problems, let's just say. I was a close friend to most people, and they sometimes don't want to talk about the problems to me. So again, I said to myself, well, if they don't want to talk to me, then why bother and why not just pretty much just, I don't know, like, let them talk to Beetle. And it pretty much actually was always right, and I've managed to help other people really going at their lowest. And yeah, I didn't want it to use Beetle as a manipulative. Well, it was I had to manipulate of making them think that Beetle was real, but I wasn't going to use it against them. I was going to use it so they can benefit them, pretty much. Mostly to myself, but I've never wanted to let everyone else left out, and yeah. Because I felt terrible of pretty much faking a persona for years, and I had to do something good with it. And that is just not had. I wanted to make something good at it. It wasn't a decision of between should I do something stupid or risk it and do it, like, or not risk it, but sorry, or do something good. It was more like it's good to do that. It's not to benefit me, or it's not gonna benefit me, but like it will probably benefit the other person, because at least at the same time they get to get heard, as in listened and understood. Because keeping it for myself was bad, really. And yeah, I'm glad that I didn't use beetle for worse. I didn't use them so that I could gain huge attention and abuse it and stuff like that. I'm proud that I didn't have this type of mentality, mindset. I'm happy that I've used it for at least good. Maybe not good. I don't know if it's good, but I want to just say that I am happy that it helped other people as well. It helped me, it helped other people, and I just don't want to keep it on forever, you know. I feel like sooner or later, there's gonna be a time when I will accidentally fuck it up and like uh like sooner or later I fuck up and reveal myself, expose myself that I'm beetle, which would go badly, and that's what have been keeping me anxious over the years. But like I had to somehow talk about my feelings, especially to a girl as well, who meant a lot to me, who meant, past tense, a lot to me. And I was scared of sharing my feelings towards them. And so, of course, I used Beetle to do that. And it was a bad idea, really, because after that, I said to myself that Beetle is not going to be part of anything between me and the girl that I liked. E is the girl, Ellie. I said that to myself. I didn't listen because I was kind of used to just let everyone know Beetle, introduce Beetle as a brother and stuff like that. But the thing is, I went a little too far. I went a little too far. I made it really convincing. And not only that, it was the crush. It was my crush. My ex crush. Who was affected. Affected to this thing. So I had to stop. I had to end the thing that pretty much let me talk about my emotions. The persona, no, not the thing. It was more than a thing to me. It was more than a persona. Not just to me, but to other people. I had to end the persona after tricking Ellie. I had to stop something that benefited me and others. It was late, kind of. Um, a month later, after I've introduced Beetle to Ellie, I've decided to um say that he doesn't exist. Ellie was the first person, no, the second person. I first talked about this to Ginger at first because it also affected him. And yeah. Then Ellie, and it ended kind of shit. And I still blame for myself for everything to that time. I still blame for everything that happened with anyone related to this guy, to this beetle guy. Not just Ellie, but also Yoshi and stuff like that. I blame myself for everything that happened to the others. That I've made them believe that there's a person like this beetle guy. Do I forgive myself? Not quite. Am I happy? Some stages was I happy at moments? Yes. Am I happy that I quit this persona? I killed it off? I revealed myself? Not really. There's nothing to be happy about, in my opinion. And same time, I decided to also retire from YouTube. I don't want to continue anymore. I didn't want to continue anymore. Because, at the same time, people who have been contacting this guy, I barely think that they wanted to even see me. So I decided to just do the favor to them and never stream. It wasn't just because I was burned out. I didn't quit because I burned out a lot and I was lacking support and stuff like that. It was also for the people who didn't want it to see me. That's why. There were people. The thing is, at least, is that I was forgiven by few people. Ellie, after being very mad at me and didn't want to talk to me for a week, decided to forgive me. But I think that that forgiveness didn't change our relations that much. Because after I revealed that Beetle didn't quite exist, before that, um, we would we used to talk a lot, frequent, a lot more frequent, you know, a lot more frequent. And it was probably the best time I've had when it comes to me and a girl. And I kind of killed it off with this Beetle persona. We don't text to each other anymore as normal. We don't talk to each other. I forgot Ellie's face now. Like, literally. Like, I don't know how she looks like anymore. And Ellie's got a boyfriend. Happy for her, at least. She doesn't need a manipulative boyfriend like me. I don't. want that for her. Um, yeah. To conclude, beatle was, you know, beatle. Is there a fly here in this room? Damn, I think there's a fly in this room. I don't want to bother myself much with that. I'm gonna close the window before it becomes too loud. Conclude, beatle was beatle. I used it as a venting method, but I also used it for other people to vent, for other people to connect, and I also used it as an undercover self. So I get to find who pretty much wanted to backstab me before they took action and stuff like that. I am thankful that if it wasn't for Beetle, I probably would still have fake friends, and probably like I wouldn't still have those fake friends, but the thing is, I think I would have been hurt a lot more if I were to not have Beetle from those fake friends, because compared to Beetle, I think that I would have had those fake friends a little longer, and I would have still toxicating myself for a lot more than compared to when I was with the Beetle persona. It benefited me a lot, but I think it's time to call it a day, and I thought of calling it a day, and I did. I don't want to ask for forgiveness with this video. I don't want to. I think I just wanted to come straight with this Beetle guy. I wanted to come straight. I wanted to just lay it all out and never wanting to talk about it again. I mean, probably we'll talk about it later after I get somewhat, as jokes, what happened when I was at Beatles account and stuff like that. You know, those stuff. I I will talk about them, but I don't think it's a good time. That's it. For people who have listened at the very end of this entire message, I want to conclude as well that for people who felt hurt after hearing this message, for people who have felt that they were betrayed, that they were manipulated, and to the people who felt shit and don't want to forgive me, I want to give you the full authorities to decide whether I should stop content creating. I did say that I wanted to stop. That was the last video, but I wanted to see. I want to see if I, not for anything, not for to benefit from anything, or it's like that stuff like that. I just want to know, do you like, for people who can't forgive me, like, voice up, like, speak up, lay it out. I understand. I'll understand the feelings they would have. But I'm not gonna be asking forgiveness because I think it's late. I think it's too late. I don't want to make a huge, like, drama out of this, right? I think it's just that it, I have, like, it's a big thing after just this many years, this guy just exists and never was a real person. Just didn't exist. This is why I think I don't have the opportunity to be forgiven for most people. But I grew up. I just want to say that. I grew up and I will be more direct next time. This is it. And for the people who are concerned about me, or I don't know if there will be anyone, but for the people who have been concerned about my stay in this channel, I'm alive. That's all I can say. I'm alive. I'm well. A lot of shit happened in the past months, but this is what you're getting from me. Bye.